Condensed Bat-Supe in 30 seconds. The following podcast contains material originally broadcast in 1946 and includes historical language and portrayals of racism and intolerance. The story depicts a hate group and uses offensive language to represent their harmful ideology. We acknowledge that the language used in this episode may cause discomfort to listeners. The intent of this episode is to demonstrate the evils of racism and intolerance, and to highlight the importance of fighting against hatred in all forms. Listener discretion is advised.
The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of The Adventures of Superman without the Caped Crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of hateful rhetoric, plenty of maternal guilt-tripping, and impassioned pleas galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we proudly continue one of the most famous and consequential Superman stories of all time with Chapter 9 of The Clan of the Fiery Cross, as originally broadcast on June 20th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, captives of the Clan of the Fiery Cross, await their interview with the Grand Scorpion, puzzled as to how far the bigoted leader will dare to go.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. You know, they say that the golden sun shining over the ancient pyramids of Egypt is really a sight to see. And gang, if you want to see a pyramid of good eating, all golden and crisp and sunny, try the Pep Dish of the Week for breakfast tomorrow. It's a Pep Pyramid, and here's how it goes. In the bottom of your bowl, pile up your serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, in the shape of a pyramid. Then around the base, scatter some fruit, like juicy red raspberries. Add milk and sugar, and pitch in. Believe me, Kellogg's Pep makes this a dish that's mighty easy to take. Pep is tender and crunchy and full up with a sparkling sunshine flavor that gives your appetite the go-ahead every time. And Kellogg's Pep is good for you, too. So you want to finish off every sunny flake in your bowl. And, gang, here's another angle. Nowadays, the cereal grains are being sent to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls all over the world. So you don't want to waste cereal. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, appoint yourself a committee of one to help guard against waste. Pour your Pep carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. Pass the word along to the rest of your family, too. Get Hep to Pep, gang. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
And now, the adventures of Superman. When the Clan of the Fiery Cross, a group of hate-mongers whose credo is one race, one color, attacked Tommy Lee, star pitcher on Jimmy Olsen's Unity House baseball team, because he is Chinese, Editor Perry White offered $5,000 reward to anyone who could identify the cowardly Klansmen. That night, the men in sheets and hoods seized White and Jim and carried them to a hideout in the hills high above Metropolis. While Superman and the police searched for them, the gray-haired editor and the young reporter, their hands bound, were brought to a large cave, before which burns a fiery cross, symbol of the Klan, whose leaping flames eerily illuminate the cave where Matt Riggs, leader of the intolerant band, stands, garbed in a long robe embroidered with a blue scorpion. A peaked hood, slit to reveal only his cold, slaty eyes, covers his head and face. Arms crossed on his chest, Riggs stares at White and Jim as they approach.
So, you're the high mucky-muck of this bunch, eh?
I'm the Grand Scorpion of the Clan of the Fiery Cross.
The Grand Rat, you mean? And a couple of other names I could think of.
Chief, please.
I advise you to control your temper, Mr. White, and your tongue.
I don't want any advice from you. But I'll give you some. Release us at once, or by heaven, you and every one of your hooted hooligans will go to the electric chair.
You're in no position to threaten us. By the time you're found in these hills, it'll be too late. Unless you come to terms first.
Terms? Well, what do you mean?
You've got to agree to stop your attacks on us and your newspaper with your dirty lies. Stop standing up for those yellow foreigners.
They're not foreigners. They're darn good Americans. A whole lot better than you are.
Quiet, you young punk.
The Lees are American citizens, entitled to the same privileges as any of us.
They're not Americans. They're foreigners. Their skin isn't white.
So what? The Indians who were here before us are red-skinned. Does that make them foreigners?
I'm not talking about the Indians.
You're talking rot, and you know it. The nation was founded by foreigners and built by foreigners. Everyone here either came from another country or is descended from folks who did. Don't you ever read your history, you stupid bigot?
That's telling him, Chief.
Now, look here, you two. I warn you, I'm not going to waste any more talk on you.
Oh, good. Then you listen to me. I happen to love my country and what it stands for. Equal rights and privileges for all Americans, regardless of what church they choose to worship God in or what color skin God gave them.
Now, you wait a minute.
The United States was founded on that principle, and we've just fought a Second World War to preserve it. You and others like you with your diseased minds want to tear down what we've built and fought to keep, but you can't do it.
Blast you.
I'll fight you to the last breath, and so will every other American worth his salt. We'll flush you and your hate-peddling goons out from behind your dirty sheets and clap you in jail where you belong.
Attaboy, Chief. Now, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Mr. Rat.
You fools. Do you think that you or anyone else can stop the clan of the Fiery Cross?
You bet we can. And we will.
We stopped Hitler, mister, and his outfit sold the same baloney as yours.
All right. I'll just show you how we'll deal with those who stand in the clan's way. Joe!
Yeah?
Tell the brothers to start heating the tar. Get those feathers ready.
What? Tar and feathers?
Jim, easy.
Look, Matt, it might kill him, you know. After all, this old goat is no
I
kid.
don't care who he is or what he is. Do as I say.
Okay, you're the boss. Ralph, John, fill the plan of that stuff.
Now, don't move, you two. We'll see how brave you are when the hot tar touches your skin.
Now, look, wait a minute.
Don't let him scare you, Jim. He wouldn't dare do anything to us.
I'm not so sure, Chief. I think they are going to tar and feather us.
Nonsense. This fellow is just trying to scare us into doing what he wants.
Maybe, but did you notice the way he looked just then? I mean, the way his eyes shone? I think he's cracked.
Of course he is. All fanatics are.
Well, what's the matter, Joe?
There's no tar.
What?
Yeah, Ralph says that last storm knocked the barrels off the ledge. They rolled down into the stream and broke open.
Oh, boy, what a break.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get some more tar.
Are we going to get any tar in these hills?
Oh, I don't know. Look, I got to go back to town, so you come along and ride with me. We'll pick up a barrel at home and bring it back in the morning.
Okay. What do we do with White and Olsen till then?
The other boys can stand guard on them. They'll keep till we get back. Come on.
Granted a few hours' reprieve, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White are returned to the small cave across the glade, where robed and hooded clansmen stand guard. Meanwhile, unable to find a trace of his friends, Superman in his guise of Clark Kent has returned to the Daily Planet, where Lois Lane greets him anxiously.
Any luck, Clark?
No, the boy the police picked up was the wrong one.
What's all this about a boy? You started to tell me before, but you didn't finish.
Oh, well, you see, Lois, some unidentified boy phoned me the night the Klan grabbed Tommy Lee.
Yes?
He told me the Klan was taking Tommy to the river bend to tar and feather him.
I see. And he wouldn't tell you his name?
No, but he knew all about it, so he must know who the Klansmen are. Hey, wait a minute. I'm going to try something.
Try what?
What I wanted the chief to do the other day. Run an open letter on the first page of the Daily Planet addressed to that boy. A letter explaining that not only Tommy Lee and Jim Olsen, but every boy in America who parts his hair a way the Klan doesn't like, or who refuses to bow down to those bullies is in danger of his life.
But, Clark...
I believe that boy must have a sense of honor which prompted him to call me to help Tommy Lee.
But why wouldn't he give you his name?
Oh, well, probably because he was afraid of being found out by the Klan. Yes, he must have taken a great risk even to phone me. Well, now I'm going to appeal again to his sense of honor and fair play.
Well, you go ahead if you like, but I don't think it'll work, Clark. If he was afraid before...
I think it will work. Anyhow, it's our only chance. Look, Lois, you call Donovan, will you?
Yes.
Tell him what's up and ask him to call the pressmen and get them down here at once.
Okay.
We're going to put out a special early morning edition of the Planet.
Unaware that the mysterious boy is Chuck Riggs, nephew of the Grand Scorpion of the clan of the Fiery Cross, Clark Kent composes an open letter to him to be displayed on the first page of a special edition of the Daily Planet. We'll be back in a moment to find out what happens. So stand by for the tense climax of today's episode.
You know, in order to be hep nowadays, you have to feel hep, wide awake and alive. And you can't feel that good if you don't eat right. So, gang, give a good hearty breakfast a chance to show you what it can do to help begin your day. Start it with a sunny breakfast of Kellogg's Pep. There's a treat that is a treat. So golden and crisp and toasty that you want to eat hearty. You see, Kellogg's Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal, and it's sure on the sunbeam when it comes to lively sunshine flavor. Not to mention the fact that these toasted whole wheat flakes are good for you, too. So, gang, get hep to Kellogg's Pep, and be sure you finish off every golden spoonful in your bowl. Don't waste it. You see, the cereal grains have been picked out to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls all over the world. So, this is no time to waste cereal. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make it your job to see that there's no waste at your house. Handle with care is the idea if you pour your own Pep. And always make sure to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Working at top speed, Clark Kent and Lois Lane publish an extra edition of the Daily Planet. Early the next morning, Chuck Riggs, the boy who indirectly caused the clan of the Fiery Cross to attack young Tommy Lee, and then, tortured by his conscience, phoned Clark Kent, is at the breakfast table with his mother in the home they share with Chuck's Uncle Matt, secretly the leader of the vicious clan. At his mother's request, Chuck bought a special edition of the Daily Planet from a shouting newsboy. Now, his eyes on his plate, he sits brooding while his mother picks up the paper.
Eat your breakfast, Chuck. You're being late for school. Now, let's see what this extra paper's about.
I've had enough, Mom.
Enough? Why, you hardly touched your eggs. What's the matter with you these last few days?
I'm okay, Mom.
Well, you don't act all right. Ever since you got dropped from the Unity House baseball team...
Don't talk about that.
What?
I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to blow up.
Don't you speak to me like that again, young man.
I said I was sorry.
Sorry? You're getting to act more like your Uncle Matt every day. Temper tantrums and brooding spells. I've got to take it from your uncle. This is his house we live in, but I won't have it from you now. You understand?
Yes,
Well, mind you don't forget. Now, let's see what's in this paper. I never knew the Planet to put out a morning paper before. My land. Listen to this. To the boy who phoned me the night Tommy Lee was captured by the clan of the Fiery Cross. You know by now that another boy, Jim Olsen, and a brave man who dared to defy the cowardly clan of the Fiery Cross are in danger of their lives.
Mom, please, cut it out. I already read that.
Well, isn't it awful? That terrible clan. Every one of them ought to be tarred and feathered instead of the decent folks they do it to. And this poor Jim Olsen. Say, Chuck, isn't he the one who was the manager of your ball team?
Yes,
And now his life's in danger. And some boy who could help him won't speak up. Chuck, did you ever hear of anything so terrible? Why, if I had a cowardly boy like that, I'd put him out of my house and never see him again, much as it'd break my heart.
You would, Mom?
Of course I would. Think of a boy who won't speak up to save another boy, and a fine man, and who doesn't think enough of his own country to want to protect it from ruffians like the clan of the Fiery Cross. Why, that clan's no better than those Nazis in Germany.
But Mom, if that boy did what Mr. Kent wants him to, and the clan people found it out, they'd do something awful to him. Maybe even tar and feather him.
No, they wouldn't. Mr. Kent says he and the police would protect him.
But the clan men might be watching Mr. Kent every minute. Nobody knows who they are. Why, gosh, your own husband could be a member of the clan and you wouldn't know it. Or your uncle.
My husband wouldn't be a hater in a sheet and hood if he was alive. He'd be out looking for him to wipe him out. That's what your father'd be doing.
Yeah, Oh, golly, I don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do about what?
Huh? Oh, nothing, Mom. I was thinking about something else. But I really don't know what to do.
Caught between his conscience and his dread fear of the clan of the Fiery Cross, Chuck Riggs hesitates, unable to decide what to do. Whether to go to Clark Kent and reveal the identity of his uncle, or to remain silent. And while Chuck hesitates, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, far away in the desolate hills, lose hope, as no sign of rescue appears, and their ordeal at the hands of the men of hate and bigotry draws nearer. What will happen? Will Chuck Riggs contact Clark Kent, or won't he? Tomorrow tells the story, so don't fail to listen. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. If your dog is a softie, here's a little trick you can try to help give him lots of muscle. Mix Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food in with his scraps of meat and fat. See if it doesn't make his eyes brighter, his coat glossy, and see if it doesn't give him lots of oof, so that pretty soon he'll be able to take it and to scramble right along with the gang. Lots of champs feed on Grow Pup, you know. So let your dog have his pick of Grow Pup ribbon, Grow Pup meal, or Grow Pup pellets. Just so's Mother remembers, write Kellogg's Grow Pup on her marketing list right now. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 10 of The Clan of the Fiery Cross, which was originally broadcast on June 21st, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, a heavy burden rests on Chuck Riggs. As torn between a sense of honor and a living fear of his uncle, he hears his mother champion the appeal that Clark Kent has addressed to him.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal, Dan McCullough. Say, doesn't it give your day a good start to know that you're going to hitch up your chair to a good breakfast? Well, that's why Kellogg's Pep had so many breakfasts, so many mornings. Because Pep makes such a terrific dish, right away you want to eat the hearty sort of meal that sends you tearing off to work or play in a good mood. Yes, sir. Kellogg's Pep is a slick treat. It's crisp for one thing, and every single whole wheat flake is so tender and toasty, why it practically melts in your mouth. And Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. It's famous for sparkling sunshine flavor. Every single spoonful is sunny and golden toasted as can be. Besides, Kellogg's Pep is good for you. Sure, every single bowl gives you solid whole wheat nourishment plus. So you're on the beam if you polish that bowl clean as a whistle. And nowadays, gang, it's particularly important to eat up all your Pep because we're sending the cereal grains to fellows and girls overseas. Remember that when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and finish up every bit you pour out. Pass the word along to the rest of your family, too. Make sure to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
And now, the adventures of Superman. When a band of robed and hooded hate-mongers, known as the Clan of the Fiery Cross, attacked the boy pitcher of the Unity House baseball team because he was Chinese, Editor Perry White offered a reward of $5,000 to anyone who could reveal their identity. That night, the vengeful clan seized White and Jimmy Olsen and took them to a hideout in the hills, where they prepared to tar and feather them. But a storm had swept the barrels of tar into the river, and Matt Riggs, the Grand Scorpion, returned to Metropolis for more. Meanwhile, Clark Kent had published a front-page letter in the Daily Planet addressed to the unknown boy who had phoned him on the night the hooded bigots had attacked the Chinese youngster. Kent appealed to the boy to reveal the identity of the Klansman, never dreaming that he was Chuck Riggs, the nephew of their leader. As we continue now, Chuck and his mother are at the breakfast table. Chuck is torn between his desire to help Jimmy and his fear of the Klan's vengeance. Listen.
If I only knew what to do.
If you only knew what to do about what, Chuck?
Oh, nothing, Mom. Nothing.
Now, don't lie to me, Chuck Riggs. That's the third time you've said that about not knowing what to do. You've got something on your mind.
No, honest, Mom. It's just...
Just what? Now, come on now. Out with it. Are you in some kind of trouble?
Oh, for gosh sakes, can't you let a fellow alone?
Well, not till you tell me what trouble you're in. I'm your mother,
I'm
and
not in any trouble, I tell you. It's just that... Well, I've been thinking about this boy in the Daily Planet. The one Mr. Kent wrote that letter to.
Oh, do you know who he is?
I didn't say that. I've been thinking. Wondering what I'd do if I was that kid.
Oh, is that all that's bothering you, son?
Sure, that's all. Look, Mom, suppose you were that kid. What would you do?
I'd go to Mr. Kent, of course. I'd tell him all I knew about those ruffians and their sheets and hoods, and I'd see them all in jail.
Sure, but suppose
They have no right picking on people because they go to a different church or because the good Lord saw fit to give them a different color skin. Who are they to question the Lord's way of doing things?
I know. You're right, Mom, but if the boy Mr. Kent means squealed and the Klan found out, there's no telling what they'd do to him.
Well, he shouldn't think of that. It's just like Mr. Kent's letter here says. Not only Jim Olsen, but every other boy in the United States is in danger unless that Klan of the Fiery Cross is broken up. Well, land's sakes, Chuck, how do you know that they won't say tomorrow they don't like the church you or I go to, or the color of our eyes, and decide to do something to me or you?
Never thought of it that way. You're right, Mom. I'm going to do like you say.
You're going to do what?
Oh, I got to do something right away before maybe it's too late.
Well, where are you going, Chuck?
Uncle Matt.
Oh, morning, Matt. I didn't hear you come home. Just sit right down. I'll have your breakfast in a jiffy.
Never mind, Sarah, never mind. I got to leave again right away. Say, come on out to the garage with me, will you, Chuck? I'd like to talk to you about something.
But I got to get to school.
Won't take long. Come on.
What did you want to talk to me about, Uncle Matt?
I noticed a copy of the Daily Planet on the breakfast table in there. Did you see Clark Kent's letter on the first page addressed to some boy?
Yes, sir. I saw it.
That boy isn't you, is it, Chuck?
What?
You heard me. Did you phone Kent that something happened to Tommy Lee that night?
Me? Oh, gosh, what makes you think it was me?
I don't know. I'm just hoping it wasn't you, that's all. Because I'd hate for something bad to happen to my own nephew.
What do you mean?
I mean that if that boy was you, Chuck, even though you're my brother's son, I'd see that you were tarred and feathered.
You would?
Yes, the work of the Clan of the Fiery Cross must go on. If anybody tries to stop it, even if it's my own flesh and blood, it'll go hard on him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Good. You see, Chuck, you're the only outsider who ever attended a Klan meeting. And since that night, you're being watched.
I have?
Yes. Somebody is watching you every second. So if you were the boy Kent's looking for and you did try to go with the police, well, you wouldn't have a chance, you see.
Yeah. I see.
I want you to remember that. Now, come on, get in that truck.
In the truck? What for?
I'm taking a barrel of cement up to a customer, and I pass your school on the way. You were going to school, weren't you?
Yeah, sure. Of course I was.
All right, come on, then. I'll see you get there. Direct.
Terrified and with all thought of going to Clark Kent abandoned, Chuck Riggs climbs into the truck beside his uncle and is driven to school. Some time later, as the sun blazes down on the little clearing in the hills used by the Clan of the Fiery Cross as a hideout, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White are in a small cave, outside of which two robed and hooded Klansmen stand guard. Across the clearing, a wood fire, attended by other robed and hooded bigots, burns under a huge bucket of tar, which is beginning to bubble and steam.
I just about got the wire off my wrist, Mr. White. There. Now I'll get it off yours.
I don't know what good it'll do, Jim. We can't get away from these scoundrels. There are too many for us.
We can try, can't we? We're just not going to stand still and let them tar and feather us, are we?
I still don't believe they'll really go through with it.
I do. That Grand Scorpion, or whatever they call him, is half crazy. There, you're free.
That's a relief. The hands and arms are numb as boards. Hey, what's that smell?
Hot tar. I guess it's almost ready for us.
Now, don't talk like that. They wouldn't dare go through with this. They still think they can scare me into a... Uh-oh. Get away from the cave entrance.
What's the matter?
Get back, I said. He comes there high, mucky muck. Keep your hands behind your back. They're still tied.
Okay. I guess this is it, Chief.
Now, don't go to pieces, Jim. Now, listen. When they take us out of the cave, make a break for those woods across the clearing.
We couldn't make it. You said yourself there were too many of these guys.
We've got to try. Quiet now, quiet. Here comes Mr. Grand Scorpion and another one. remember, as soon as we're out of the cave, make a break.
Okay.
Well, White, you've had plenty of time to think over my proposition and to smell that hot tar. Have you changed your mind?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Will you agree to stop attacking us in your newspaper, withdraw your reward from information about us, and publish a story saying that the clan of the Fiery Cross was not responsible for the attack on that Chinese boy and his father?
Never.
All right. We'll see how brave you are when the first brushful of hot tar touches your skin. Ralph, bring him along.
Okay. Come on, you.
Take your hands off of me. We can work without your help.
Get going then.
Come on, Jim. Remember.
Okay. Hey, their hands are untied.
Run, Jim, run.
No, you don't.
That's you. Let go of me.
Oh, no.
Just let me go. Okay, I'm going to get one sock at you.
I'm going to tear that hood off your face.
Never mind, Joe. We got him.
There. Now I can see your dirty face.
Why, you...
What? Jeepers. It's Mr. Riggs.
Who?
Chuck Riggs' uncle.
You made a great mistake when you tore my hood off, Mr. White. Now that you know who I am, well, I can see we got to change our plan.
Change your plan?
Yes. We can't just tar and feather you and let you go.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, Olsen, that now and you, Mr. White, must die.
Slate-colored, half-mad eyes gleaming like those of a jungle beast. Matt Riggs, Grand Scorpion of the clan of the Fiery Cross, condemns Jimmy Olsen and Perry White to death. Will his murderous sentence be carried out? We'll know in just a moment, so stand by for the tense climax of today's episode.
You know, this week's Pep Dish of the Week is sure making history. History of good breakfast eating, of course. Shows you how much Kellogg's Pep can do for fresh fruit. You tried it yet? It's called a Pep Pyramid, named for the pyramids of Egypt. And here's the idea. Pile your serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, in your bowl in the shape of a pyramid. Around the base, scatter some fruit, like juicy red raspberries. Top with milk and sugar, and then just taste it. What a treat. Fact is, no matter how you serve it, Kellogg's Pep makes a treat that is a treat. That sparkling sunshine flavor, for instance. You can't beat that for tickling your taste. And Pep's tender crispness makes a hit with your appetite, too. And the way those delicate whole wheat flakes practically melt in your mouth. Just show me a fellow or girl who wants to stop eating until that bowl of Pep is polished off clean. And gang, that's one way to keep from wasting cereal. Another way is to pour it out carefully. And it's especially important nowadays, gang, not to waste cereal when we're sending the grains to fellows and girls across the seas. Keep that in mind when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Just as Matt Riggs was condemning Jimmy Olsen and Perry White to death, Clark Kent returned to the Daily Planet after another vain search for his friends. Beanie Martin, the copy boy, follows him into his office.
Where's Miss Lane, Beanie?
She went out just a little while ago.
Oh?
She said she couldn't stand just sitting around and waiting anymore.
I know how she feels.
Look at Mr. Kent. If we could just get hold of Superman, I'll bet you he could find Jim and Mr. White.
Well, he hasn't been able to so far.
You mean he's been looking?
Sure, and so have the police. Well, if we could only learn the identity of a single member of the clan of the Fiery Cross, I'd make him lead us to the others.
Nobody came in to tell us anything about them. And we offered $5,000 reward, too.
Yeah, well, whoever might know about the clan is afraid to talk, Beanie. They're afraid they might be caught later and tarred and feathered. Yeah, I was counting on the boy who phoned me that night. I was sure he'd come in after that open letter in the Planet this morning.
I guess he was afraid of being tarred and feathered, too.
I suppose so. Gee, if I only knew who he was.
You think he knows who the clansmen are, huh?
I'm sure he does. He knew all about what was going to happen to Tommy Lee that night and where they were taking him. He was very worried about Tommy. Say, wait a minute. Beanie, I think I've got it.
Huh? Got what?
I think I can find that boy. Keep your fingers crossed, Beanie, and pray hard that I'm not too late.
Springing from his chair, Clark Kent rushes from his office. What has he thought of? And will it lead him to Chuck Riggs? Every second counts now because high in the hills, miles from Metropolis, Jimmy Olsen and Perry White face death at the hands of the fanatical men of hate, the clan of the Fiery Cross. Monday's episode is packed with excitement, fellows and girls, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. You know, gang, a dog likes having his own feeding dish and his own bed. And I bet you he likes his own food, too, instead of yours, if you give him Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. Grow Pup has a grand, meaty flavor dogs go for, and it helps keep them husky, too. Helps give them strong bones and teeth and muscles. There are 3 different kinds of Grow Pup, all of them wonderful for your dog. There's Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. Ask Mother to get Kellogg's Grow Pup today. See if your dog doesn't go for it right off the bat. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
It's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping, because espionage means never having to say, "Actually, I'm a spy." In this extra helping, a British officer has to decide if his childhood friend is still his friend or a Nazi spy. This is Affair at Mandrake, from Escape, as originally broadcast on April 15th, 1954.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the 4 walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are standing in the bedroom of an English inn, the sound of revelry coming faintly up the stairs, while in the shadows across the room from you, the gun in his hand already aimed at you, is an enemy agent whose success depends upon your death.
Listen now as Escape brings you Ben Wright's story, Affair at Mandrake.
This town, this beach, might have been wonderful in peacetime, I don't know. I never saw it before, but in war in 1940 it was hell. And on the map that I held in my shaking hands, it read Dunkirk. I stood by a burnt-out truck, reeling with fatigue, watching what was left of my battalion lurch like sleepwalkers onto the shell-swept dunes to await their turn on the little ships that were struggling so desperately to get them away and back to England.
Major Baker!
Over here, son, Major. You find the colonel?
Afraid he's boarded, sir. Him and the old battalion order group.
All of them?
Yes, sir. One bloody shell. Nasty, very nasty. You want to look over the prisoners now, sir?
I suppose so. Brigade still wants unit identification.
This way, sir.
All right.
I left them with the Lance Corporal of D Company. Here you are, sir. This bomb over here.
Right.
Okay, you Nordic Superman, up on your bloody feet.
Now get them lined up all the way. We'll see what we've got.
Prisoners!
That man at the end, Holloway. Get him turned round.
You, face the officer. You I'm talking to.
That's more like it. Now we can... 30 shots.
Bitte, Herr Major.
30 shots. What in the world?
Aber, Herr Major, ich kann kein Englisch Wort verstehen.
You don't understand English when you were born in England.
Bitte, Herr Major.
Holloway, shoot that man.
Sir?
Shoot him.
No, sir.
Then by heaven I will.
No, sir, you can't. Sir, stop it. You know it's against King's regulations to shoot a prisoner. You know it is, Major, sir.
He's a traitor. I'll prove it to you. Get his service book.
Yes, sir.
It says 30 shots. Born London, England, doesn't it?
No, sir. It says here, Wilfred Dorf, born Bremen, sir.
Dorf? I could have sworn that... Dorr? Wilfred Dorr?
Yes, sir.
All right, Holloway. Must have been mistaken. Give him back his book. Now, I want the prisoners placed nearer the sea. Last chance of them making a bolt for it that way. Then I want... And I want you to see that all of the ranks are fully equipped. What they don't have already, they can pick up off the beach.
Right, sir. Yes, sir. Corporal, get them prisoners down nearer to the sea.
All right, John Major.
Come along, Holloway.
Excuse me, Major, but who did you think that prisoner was just now?
My best friend, Holloway.
Best friend, sir? German?
Yes, blasted Holloway, my best friend.
Sorry, sir.
That's all right, Holloway. I'm tired. We all are. I made a mistake, that's all. I wasn't really going to shoot him, you know.
No, sir.
Major Baker, sir. Navy just signaled for us to embark.
All right. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Battalion will move off by companies. A company leading. Single file, 5-yard interval. Deliver that order to platoon leaders.
Yes, sir.
You married, Holloway?
Not half, sir. 10 years now and 3 nippers.
They'll be glad to see you.
I should say so. You know, I've always thought of the old trouble and strife talking too much, but after this little lark, she'll seem like a blinking deaf... Come on, sir, let's get off this flaming beach.
We left Dunkirk blazing behind us, and the Navy took over. Then England again, and finally the blessed release of 2 weeks' leave. But it was a short-lived happiness, for on the 6th day I was ordered to report to the War Office. General Ballister, sir.
Baker, yes, of course. I sent for you, didn't I? Oh, Baker, congratulations.
I beg your pardon, sir?
On your military cross. I haven't got it yet, eh? Well, it'll be along. It was a good show in France, Baker. A fine rear guard and a properly equipped battalion when you came ashore. Deserve your MC.
Thank you, sir.
Thank me, rubbish. Deserve it. Now, what do you know about rockets, Baker?
Well, sir, I was interested in them pre-war as a possible method for postal delivery.
Oh, that's right. I have it here in your record. Attended experimental meetings in Germany, eh?
Yes, sir. My best friend and I... Well, it interested me.
Yes. Well, come here. Have a look at this map.
Sir?
Mandrake Forest. Full of rockets. Our rockets. Ack and anti-personnel. Well, the Germans think they're very clever with this sort of nonsense. We think we're a bit brighter.
Mandrake Forest. I see.
Baker, I want you to command a group at Mandrake and carry out field tests. Can't give you more than a battalion for the job either. I'm giving you the job because of your record and because you know about rockets. Now, what's your main problem?
Security?
Exactly, security. The enemy knows we're up to something and he'll do his best to find out what it is.
It'll be quite a job, sir, with only a battalion.
All you get with your colonelcy, of course. Take it?
Of course, sir. Thank you. Oh, one thing, sir. May I have my old regimental sergeant major with me? Holloway knows the way I work, and he'd be very good value.
Oh, we'll arrange that immediately. That all?
I think so, sir.
Good, that's it then. Except for a word of warning.
Sir?
From now on, Mandrake will be a #1 target for enemy agents. Mandrake and you.
Yes, sir.
Your life, and more important still, our chances of winning this war depend on how well you do at Mandrake.
I'd already thought of that, sir.
I'm sure you had. Well, then, I suggest you spend the last of your leave by having a look around that district. Make your appreciation and so on, eh? Oh, yes, and dine with Barbara and me tonight, eh, Guy?
I'd love to, sir.
Splendid. 8:30 then, blitz permitting. Oh, and do me a favor, will you?
Of course, sir.
Don't mention rockets, eh? Barbara's all right, really, but Pongo's awfully touchy.
Pongo?
Yes, the bloody dog, right?
Right, sir. And thank you. The dinner was excellent, as was the courvoisier. So it was well after midnight before I said goodnight to the Ballisters and made my way slowly towards my flat in Cranmer Mews. The darkness was absolute. No searchlights, no raid, an almost irritating hush. And then as I turned into the mews, I saw it. A chink of light coming from my own window. I moved quietly, yet as quickly as possible, up the steps. then stopped suddenly. My door had been forced. I eased it open wider and stepped through. There was a ribbon of light from the study. Then, as I slowly edged closer... I came to where I had fallen in the hall. Head pounding, I got to my feet and opened the study door. The room was in chaos. Chairs ripped open and papers littering the carpet. Bookshelves empty. Pictures pushed aside. Quickly, I pried open the tightly fitted false bottom to the bureau drawer. My most secret documents and books were untouched. The film of chalk dust with which I had sprayed them, unmarked. If it had been a burglar, he'd got what he came for. If it had been the enemy, then they'd not discovered what my mission was. Hello.
Guy, sorry to disturb you. Ballister here.
Oh, yes, General.
Got another blister for you, I'm afraid.
In what way, sir?
Just after you left, I got a toll call from Pig Spooner. Cap's commanding a prisoner of war camp just outside your new area.
Yes, sir?
Yes. Thought I ought to tell you. Pig was livid. Said that 2 days ago, 6 of his POWs made a bolt for it. His patrols have brought in 5 of them, but one is still swanning about scot-free. Bloody well vanished.
Got a description of him, sir?
That's why I rang up. Blighter's about 32, medium build, but tall, pale face, black eyes and hair.
I'll keep my eyes open, sir. Anything else?
Yes. Pig thinks he must speak fluent English and know the country well. Oh, yes. The fellow's name is Wilfred Dorff. I left London the next night, and as the train crawled towards Mandrake, under the nightly blanket of shellfire and bombers, I thought of my new command, of the rockets, and how they could change the whole face of the war, properly used and in the right hands. And I thought, too, of Wilfred Dorff, whom we'd captured at Dunkirk, the man I'd mistaken for my oldest friend, Ferdy Schatz. Ferdy's parents had been German, certainly, but he was a British citizen until he had gone to Berlin in 1937 to finish his studies there. And if Dorff was Ferdy, why had he refused to recognize me that day? Shame? Fear? Why? Why change his name? In any case, I'd soon find out. For somewhere in the forest of Mandrake, he was loose. Then, much later, I was stepping off the train into a driving, stinging rain at Mandrake Halt, where Sergeant Holloway met me with a staff car. And in a matter of minutes, we were driving away from the station toward the little town of Mandrake.
The adjutant sends his apologies for not being here, sir, but the camp's a mess and he couldn't get away.
Thanks, Holloway. Well, they posted you quickly enough.
True, sir. Hardly had time to get my pack off.
Camp's a mess, huh?
Yes, sir. The adjutant suggests the Red Lion pub in the village for you, sir, till we get settled a bit. He's warned them, sir.
Cheer up, Holloway. It's not as bad as all that.
No, sir.
Well, at least we're home.
Yes, sir. But if you'll forgive me saying so, it ain't much better than the beach of Dunkirk.
How is your wife, Holloway?
Talky, sir. Very talky. Well, this is it, sir. The Red Bloody Lion. The camp's number is Mandrake 45 if you want the staff car for reconnaissance.
Fine. Thanks for meeting me, Holloway. How about a drink before you go back?
Well, it's very good of you, sir, but the sergeant's mess managed to get a couple of barrels of Scotch ale last night. They only have bitter here.
Right out. Off you go.
Good night, Colonel.
Good night.
Colonel Baker, isn't it?
That's right.
I'm Alfie Bingle. I've been expecting you, sir. Your adjutant gave us a buzz, and we've the best room put by for you. Number 6 on second floor. Has to eaten out yet, sir?
Well, I did have dinner in London, but...
But they're still a bit peckish and all, eh?
Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
Well, don't you worry, sir. I told old lady to put by half a blood pudding and some green gauges for afters, just in case.
That sounds fine.
I'll take your valise up for you, sir, and the bottle of Jameson's Irish the adjutant sent along. You just stop into the bar parlour. Mrs. will serve you in there.
Right, thank you.
Colonel, sir. I do hope you won't put us out of bounds to your chaps just because you're top secret now.
Where did you hear that?
Well, it's sort of gossip, is all. Sort of gossip, like.
Let's talk about it some other time, shall we? In the meantime, how about the food?
Of course, sir. Right away. Right away.
The bar parlour was warm and crowded, and Bingle's food far better than I'd hoped for. After I'd eaten, I sat for a while over a couple of glasses of port. I was tired after the journey north. Bingle's remark about being top secret irritated me, so that when the singing began, I started up to my room.
Hello, Guy.
30 shots.
Sorry about this artillery, but we have to talk, and I remembered your little outburst at Dunkirk. It seemed wiser to take no chances.
And you were?
Wilfred Dorff. Yes, that's right. The sort of melodramatic thing one is forced to do only in wartime, thank heavens.
Now, you listen to me.
Guy, please, don't get yourself in an uproar. Pour a couple of drinks like a good chap, will you, and then we'll talk. Yet, you probably have a service revolver in your valise, but I'd rather you didn't try to get it. Drinks, old boy?
There you are.
Thanks. That's more like it, eh? Yes. And I can't tell you how grateful I was when you didn't positively identify me at Dunkirk, Guy.
I'll bet you were.
Well, you see, it was essential that I get to England with Germans and as a German.
What else are you? Captured you myself, didn't I? You, a British subject in a German uniform? Now that you've escaped, you've come to me to beg a favor. How long do you think you can trade on old friendship? You're an escaped prisoner of war.
Guy, let me explain.
Go on, then explain. You have the gun.
All right. Firstly, we are very well aware of the importance of your new command.
We? The Germans?
Germans, my foot. British military intelligence.
British military? You? With MI5?
That's right. Guy, do you remember my farewell party at the Dorchester in 37 when I was leaving for Germany to finish my education?
I remember. What about it?
Intelligence knew war was coming then, sooner or later, and because of my German parentage, they sent me there as a plant.
What?
Guy, I'm not an escaped prisoner. That was arranged by courtesy of military intelligence. I expect the commandant of the camp is furious, but then sometimes you can't let the left hand know what
Suppose I did believe you. What are you doing here?
Well, we feel sure that one of the top German agents is now or will be in this area. Target? Mandrake's new rocket command, and, of course, its commander. You.
Who is this agent?
We don't know. Yet.
I see. Do you know what he looks like?
We don't know that either.
You know very little for someone that supposedly works for military intelligence.
Oh, I see. All right, here. This is the only identification I carry. Look.
It doesn't mean a thing.
Guy, you don't think...
I don't think, Ferdy, I know. Those credentials are forged.
Forged? Are you out of your mind?
How credulous do you think I am, Ferdy?
Now, listen, Guy, I need your help.
Our friendship's finished. Done. You see, you're on one side. I'm on the other. And you better go while you still have that gun, because the next time I find you, I'll kill you.
Guy. You always were pig-headed. All right, then, a drink for the road, One for our friendship that was...
As I poured his drink, he came toward me smiling, his gun in one hand. Then as he reached for it, I flung the raw whiskey straight into his eyes. As he spun away from me, half-blinded, I leapt at him. He was trying to bring the gun round on me. I brought my heel down hard on his hand. And the gun skittered away, out of reach under the wardrobe. Then his left hand chopped me hard across the throat. Through a choking haze, I reached the bed, clawed open my valise, swung my revolver towards him as he came toward me. Then I fired. I knew I'd hit him, but even so, he was able to wrench the gun from my hands, race for the door, and slam it shut behind him. By the time I got to my feet and had the door open, Ferdy had a good lead. I took the stairs as fast as I could, but down in the parlor I saw only Bingle, open-mouthed and a blur of excited faces. The blackout curtains at the front door were half ajar, and Ferdy Schutz was gone.
And as you know, Colonel, 3 days later, Ferdy Schutz was dead.
Captain Harper, I suppose for you chaps in MI5, this is run-of-the-mill. But for me, the whole thing has been a nightmare. Tragedy of errors. Killing one's best friend is, well, not too pleasant.
As I quite understand, Colonel.
In time of war, friendships are set aside when one's country is being attacked. And I thought Ferdy Schutz was doing just that. Now that I know he was working for MI5, well,
Didn't he tell you that military intelligence had sent him up to Mandrake?
Yes.
Didn't he show you his credentials?
He did. But at that time, I felt sure they were forged.
Oh, I see.
Look, Captain Harper. On the beach at Dunkirk, I captured this man. Later, I am told by General Bannister that he has escaped the POW camp. And still later, I find him in my room holding me at the point of a gun.
And what did he tell you he was doing there?
He said he'd come to Mandrake because an enemy agent was supposedly in the area. He wanted my help in turning up something. Well, it's all easy enough to understand now, but don't you see, Captain Harper? At the time, I thought I was doing my duty. I had no way of knowing for sure that he was a British agent. The whole thing has been a frightful tragedy.
Oh, yes, it is tragic. Perhaps most of all because those shots got to one of our men before he died. He never knew he'd found the evidence he wanted.
I don't understand, Captain Harper.
Colonel, you were able only to fire once.
That's correct. Before he grabbed my gun and ran.
Yes, and lost himself in the blackout.
That's right. I never saw him again.
Or couldn't find him. Is this your gun?
It could be.
I rather imagine it is, Colonel. Schutz gave it to us before he died.
Well?
You fired only one shot from your revolver, the shot that killed Ferdy.
Yes. That's true.
And during a regulation ballistics check, we found the remaining 5 rounds of your revolver held not powder, but rather microfilms, with a complete German code necessary for your activities here at Mandrake. Colonel Baker, you're under military arrest as a Nazi agent and for espionage against His Majesty's government. Shall we go?
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you Affair at Mandrake by Ben Wright, starring John Daner. Featured in the cast were Ben Wright, Richard Peel, Parley Bear, Joseph Kearns, Gary Montgomery, and Lawrence Dobkin. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are groping your way through the belly of a sunken ship, of fortune and pearls secured to your belt. While above, on the ship that tends you, working the pump that sends air to you, is an adversary whose plans include the taking of your pearls and your life.
So listen next week when Escape brings you John Russell's story, The Adversary. Today, radio station WDNC in Durham, North Carolina, celebrates its 20th birthday and its 20th anniversary as a CBS radio affiliate as well. Happy birthday, station WDNC, and many more happy listening birthdays to all the listeners in the greater Durham region, from more than 200 CBS radio affiliates from coast to coast. Mr. Keene, Tracer of Lost Persons, is heard Friday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
that'll wrap up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe, featuring more from the Clan of the Fiery Cross, from the Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we continue with the story of the Clan of the Fiery Cross and bring you another fine extra helping. Until then, up!
What I have to say to you now, gang, won't take much more than a minute, but it's serious and important, so please don't go away. As you've no doubt noticed, we haven't anything to sell in this program right now. That is, no commercial product, I mean. Well, that gives us an opportunity to sell you something that's bigger than anything you can buy. Peace. That's something you can't buy with money, but what you can assure by simply learning how to understand and live with your neighbor. You see, when people try to understand each other, they find it's really easy. Honest it is. All you have to do is accept the fact that although all men are in truth created equal, there are certain differences. There must be. Such as, for instance, we can't all look alike exactly. We can't be expected to think alike exactly. And although we all worship God, we need not necessarily all do so in the same way. But those things don't make us really different because underneath all that, we're all people, human beings. And with that as a basic truth, can you see any need for quarreling and name-calling and other such things that make for unhappiness? Of course not. So from now on, in your daily contact with other boys and girls and grown-ups, try to keep that in mind. That's what the United Nations is trying to accomplish on a worldwide scale, because that's the only way to ensure peace.